To start off, I would say I have a bit of cough and cold, so I won't sound very nice, and I'll keep coughing. But the reality is, I can't blame it on Delhi. Ki Delhi mein hawa kharab hai, that's why I'm having this cough and cold. I have it for the last few days, so nothing related to that. It's good to be here. It's a pleasure coming here. काफी time के बाद मैं Delhi आ रहा हूँ. And now to answer what you asked, I think I am as each and every individual is. We all feel the frustration. We all feel the irritation when things are not going our way. But what is important is, does frustration lead to anything that is good for the team? What at that point of time, what I am thinking is what needs to be done. गलती हो सकती है किसी इंडिविजुअल से हुई हो या पूरी टीम से हुई हो कि जो भी हमारा प्लान था, maybe we didn't execute our plans well. Whatever the format may be, T20 हो, Test cricket हो या 50 over format हो. So I like to get into the process again. What can be done right now, depending on the situation. Test match में you have 2 innings, so at times you get slightly longer duration to plan out your next move. One day में थोड़ा time constraint होता है. T20 में everything happens very quickly, so the demands are very different. But I would say that I feel equally frustrated. I also feel angry at times. I feel disappointed. But what is important is none of these are constructive. What needs to be done right now is more important than any of these emotions. So when I get into the thinking of what needs to be, Nabi mujhe kya karna hai, what is the next thing that I can plan, who is the individual I can use. And once I get into it, I'm controlling my emotions in a much better way. So I would say I'm like everyone else. It's just that I control my emotions slightly better than some of the other individuals, because I feel, human beings have a lot of emotions, and especially us Indians, we thrive on emotions. So, it will be wrong to say that, these are something that doesn't come to my mind. Yes, I also face each and everything, but I always felt that my emotions should be under my control. And if I'm able to do that, then my thinking will be more constructive, and also it will help me think more about the process than the result, because the result can put undue pressure on the individual or as a team in the full.
Thank you, Ramesh. What did you seek to achieve when you were pulling together the team? What in your mind makes a great winning team? And did you really think that when you went in to play that T20 the first time round, that you were going to emerge as world champions?
Ultimately, what you do is you break it into the smaller things. Something as small as, there was something very particular about that T20 World Cup. Bowl out was one of the things. And before that, we have never practiced bowl out. So what we did as a team was, whenever we went for practice, we said, to start the practice off, we'll have a bowl out. Yeah. Whether it's before the warm-up or after the warm-up, because we may need, or there may come a situation where we may have to do a bowl out session, after a game if it's a tie. And we said, it's very clear, yes, it is for fun, but at the same time, whoever hits the wicket most number of times, they will be the ones who will be used if the situation arises. It has nothing to do with, I am a bowler, this is my job, I will do it. I was like, no, again, it's like a performance thing. We'll keep doing it every day, and whoever has the best hit ratio will be the ones who will be used. And we started in that way, and we never realized actually that in the first few games itself, against the Pakistan game, there'll be a bowl out session. So a lot of people ask me, we used a lot of bowlers who were in the bowl out, who are not regular bowlers or who won't have been the first preference. And I was like, we picked the ones who are best equipped or who practiced the best or who gave us the best result, because it was something that was very unusual for us. But we prepared in a way that we were ready for it. So similarly, throughout the T20 World Cup, it was very interesting that it was the first time the T20 World Cup was played. We had not played a lot of games before that. So we had a lot of challenges in front of us, how to approach the game. So we wanted to be more expressive on the field. And ultimately, winning or losing, it comes to each and every individual who's part of the team. Everybody, when you play a team sport, everybody has a role and responsibility. And I felt throughout the T20 World Cup, the roles and responsibilities that were given to individuals, it was fulfilled to the best manner possible. And that was the reason, because of which we won the tournament. It's not always about few of the individuals, performing a lot better than the whole lot. What you want is everybody to contribute. That one wicket at that right moment, a good run out, an outstanding catch. These are the things that can really shift the momentum of the game. And we were able to do that. Whenever there was a tough scenario, we had an individual who rose up to the occasion and performed well for the team. So these were the things we are looking for. We are not looking at the result. Yes, we wanted to win the tournament, but we are not looking at the result. What we said was we'll take care of the small things. I still remember almost from that South Africa game, everything was like a knockout game. When we were playing against South Africa, it was one of the greenest wicket or most lively wicket, one of the most lively that I had seen in the shortest of format. But again, few of the individuals, they batted well. We got just enough runs on the board, but then the bowlers took over, and they in fact put so much pressure on the South African batsmen that they were not able to qualify. If they would have won, they would have easily qualified. Then there was a scenario where they needed to score some 120 runs or something. Even if they lose, they would have qualified for the next stage. But ultimately, we bundled them up for something because of which they were not even able to get into the next stage. So I think, as a team, we did very well. And I always felt whenever you're playing a team sport, your team needs to perform. Yes, there will be games where one individual or two individuals will win you the game. But the moment it comes to winning a tournament, everybody needs to contribute, and at a substantial level. So I felt, T20 was that was a great tournament to start that off, and we were just more expressive on the field, and we were better prepared to deal with different situations, compared to some of the other teams.
Very interesting. MS, one of the things that it takes many decades of hard work to achieve instant success. The world sees the success part and the journey that you've gone on, and why I mentioned the MS Dhoni, the untold story, the inspirational story that has been told on celluloid. One of the questions that I have for you is, and now this is taking away from cricket, but I really want to focus on what are those ingredients, and as you grew up as a child, what drove in you that tenacity, that determination, that mental strength, that irrespective of what the odds are, irrespective of what the disappointments were, that you were able to keep that North Star in front of you and your goals, and therefore be able to strive to excel to that. I feel that, while you've had an extremely illustrious cricketing career where the whole world writes and talks about, to me, this is another part of your life and story, which I feel with a young country like India, and frankly, someone like me who's got a young child, is an equally, empowering story. So tell a little bit about that. What was that like, and what prepared you for this big league that you arrived in?
Your question seems very technical, but the thing is, I always felt the answer that I'll give, it's a very simple answer, and a lot of times you think it's very complex when it comes to the kind of cricketing career I had. It all boils down to the simplest of things. Like when I started cricket, it was for fun. I used to play tennis ball cricket. It was mostly for fun. Every day you go, you compete, you learn, you come back. Next day again, 4 o'clock you go. And if you have lost the other day, you want to win that next day. So it all started from there. And then finally, cricket started in school where I must be like 13, 14 at that point of time. And we used to have summer camp during the summer vacation. So that was my first exposure to leather ball cricket. It always feels nice because all of a sudden you get access to wicket keeping pads or batting pads, you get leather balls, gloves, bat, helmet, everything. And there's a whole process, you carry your mat from the hall to the ground and you stick the mat, you get it ready to play, then you play, practice, bowl, bat, whatever, and then, follow the same process, keep it back. So it's all very interesting compared to tennis ball cricket, where you turn up, you put the wickets, you have a ball, bat, and you start playing. And after that, I played a lot of other sport. But that exposure during that summer vacation, actually got me closer to proper leather ball cricket. And after that, I started practicing slightly more, spent a bit more time with the school team. And after 1 year, I started playing for my school team. So for me, it all started with fun. And one of the most crucial things throughout was being honest to myself. I never thought that I'll play for the country. Coming from Ranchi, which was part of Bihar at that point of time, it was not like when you're playing and you look up and you're like, no, I want to play for the Indian cricket team. So it all started as if I wanted to have fun. I wanted to play for my school team. Then I started playing for the school team. What is next? The next became the under 16 district team. Once you play for the district, then state is the next team. So slowly and gradually, you start taking care of the small term goals. Because it's always more interesting, it's in front of you, and you start doing the small things right, you actually see yourself accomplishing those goals, and ultimately you keep tweaking your targets. So from the district, it becomes the state, from state, it becomes zone. Finally, 99, 2000 was the big year where Bihar was hosting the under 19 India level tournament, where all the states come and they compete, and we were able to reach the finals of that tournament. And because of the performance in the tournament, I got a chance to play for the Ranji Trophy team. So that proper professional cricket started from 2000. And then also, we play a sport that involves a bit of luck also. We can't deny that fact, because I always found cricket to be a great leveler in life. And somehow I always talk about it, like how it is very interesting. You start the game with a flip of a coin. You don't know which way it will fall. Then you don't know who will, like if you're an opener, okay, I'll go and play the new ball and I'll be playing their best fast bowlers. But after that, there's no surety to anything. The number 3 batsman can bat in the second over, or he can bat in the 25th over, or there's an X factor involved to it. But again, going back to, how it all matured for me was, I got lucky, I passed out from school, I got a job with the railways. Now, coming from a middle class background, one of the things your parents are always worried about is your future. And, sports never had I would say, it never had a great future at that point of time. A lot of parents would be worried, acha cricket khel raha, I don't know future mein kya hoga. But the moment I got my job with the railways, my parents were quite relaxed as to, whatever he does from now on, he has something to fall back to. If he's not successful in life, he'll fall back to, with work when it comes to the railways, and he'll have a future, whatever that future may be. So I feel all these small things which fall into places which may or may not be in your control also contribute a lot. But the most important ingredient, yes, hard work is there, dedication is there, passion is there, but I felt being honest is one of the most important things. To start off being honest to yourself. Unless you are honest to yourself, you can't be honest to others. And what it also does is, it helps you in accepting what the shortcomings are. You may not be a great player, may not be a great human being, but if you're willing to accept the shortcomings, you can always look to improve. You can go to people, you can ask for help, and there'll be people to guide you out. Whether it's your seniors, whether it's your parents, close friends, whoever those may be. And I always felt all these things really helped me keep moving ahead in life. Throughout being honest towards the goal. What is the goal? The goal is not to, for me it was never to score so many runs for India. For me it was always, how we'll be able to win a game. Whether you are the captain or you're not the captain. What you want is, how much you have contributed for the team to win. Then if you become a senior player in the team, or if you're the captain in the team, your main thing then becomes, apart from the team success, is what you're really doing to make it comfortable for others to perform. All of us, we perform as individuals, but what you want is what we are doing so that others are performing. Whether we are giving them enough time, whether they are grooming them, whether we are putting them in the right direction as seniors, where they are also able to perform. So I would say I always felt I had a very simple life, You know, it was very simple when it came to the journey. I would always take care of the things that were in my control. I was never bothered about selection. If I didn't get selected, for me it was like I need to score more runs, I need to do better wicket keeping, because those are the things that will help me perform. You know, thinking about not getting selected won't help me in any ways. You know, it won't really help me get better. You know, it will only fill me with more bitterness, and you know, I'll have to work hard even more to get into the team. So ultimately you have to keep adapting yourself. So how quick are you when it comes to that adaptation thing is something that also defines, you know, how successful you'll be in the future. So if I have to sum it up, yes, dedication, hard work, passion, all of it is there, but you have to be honest to the core. If you're not honest, then you know, a lot of times you may complicate things. So I always thought, you know, being honest was one of the key factors that really helped me be where I am right now.